So let's talk about reliability and validity, what they mean to your research proposal. At the end of each research study, all researchers have to describe the limitations of their study. And that means that you are ethically bound to put information into perspective and describe why you might not be able to, for example, assume that your results would hold up in all situations, or why they might not hold up for certain people. In research, we have to be honest, and you've seen that emphasized throughout the course. And so these are the concepts that we have to use in order to be honest about our results. And this gives us the talking points. So as always, here's you have a video that you can check out. This is also in the video playlist. So what is reliability? Reliability has to do with consistency. If I measure this group of people using this measure, am I going to get consistent results? If I get different results each time, then I'm going to wonder if I'm actually capturing that right information or if something's off. So I need to know that there's consistency there. When we talk about random error, which we looked at in the last video, the more reliable it is, the less random error. So the less chances there are to have those small variations that could throw off results just a bit. So there's two main types of reliability. One has to do with making sure that different people are seeing the same thing. Another has to do with making sure that if you check it at different times, it stays the same. So let's break each down. Inner rater or inner observer means that if two people are doing the same thing, then it's considered more reliable. Why? If I get two people that are observing a mother playing with her child, and they're trying to look at some of the different ways in which they bond, and they both pick up on the same things, I'm going to be pretty sure that those are important things to look at. If they pick up on two completely different things, then I'm going to be concerned that maybe we're not capturing those concepts right, or we need to look at things in a different way. Now, when you're watching them, you have to ask yourself, are they consistent? To what percentage of agreement do they have? So if two people have 20% agreement, that's a cause for concern. 80% agreement, that's pretty good. If you have numbers that you can use, so if you're trying to agree on whether you can guess at who's man, woman, or transgender by physical appearance or by gender presentation, then you can look at a percentage of agreement here. But if you're trying to rate how tall somebody is and whether you can guess at that tall, you can average that out and use what's called a correlation in statistics. So just different, mathematical tools, but the main thing is, again, you're comparing what you see. The test-retest reliability is different in that here you want to see, if I measure you now and then I measure you later, is it going to come the same? And again, this is assuming that there's no change in the underlying variable. I should get the same results if I'm taking an IQ test that's supposed to capture innate intelligence. It doesn't matter if I take it now or if I take it in 2 years. If it's supposed to capture intelligence and that's not supposed to change, I should get the same results. Otherwise, there might be something wrong with the measurement tool that's being used. So in test-retest reliability, you measure at least 2 times, and then you do a correlation. Again, you're assuming there's no change, and it has to stay stable across time. Now, there is one more type of reliability called internal consistency reliability, and this says all the different attributes within a variable should stay the same. So what does that mean? If I am asking about depression, and I'm asking about social issues and emotional issues and cognitive issues, then if I see that people's social issues are really high, but their emotional issues are really low, and their cognitive issues are high, that makes no sense to me, because those should all be high with depression, and those should all be low if there is no depression. So there's different statistical tools that are used, but again, if a depression is made up of several different dimensions or attributes, then I want to make sure those all go up together and they all go down together. So if you're looking at inter-item correlation, for example, you're basically looking at how the responses in individual questions line up together. If you're looking at depression, then you want to make sure that if certain questions are being answered yes, that indicate depression, that you don't also have a whole different set of questions within there that are being answered no. And everything, again, in theory, all the questions that measure depression should show indicators of depression if there is, in fact, depression, and if your survey or your measurement tool is designed to truly capture depression. If you see that some questions are indicating that depression is not there, while others are saying that it is there. That's some concerns. So you can look at those question by question. You can look at it as a total, so you just get the average of those individuals, and then you kind of compare the averages together. 85% is good. You want to see numbers like that. You can look at it, there's a technique where you just basically split it in half, and then you compare, again, if you just randomly give half of the questions to one person, and then give half of the questions to another person, and they're both depressed, they should both show that, and again, the results should both show that they have depression if in fact the questions are accurate. And then there's something called Cronbach's alpha, which is a more complicated statistical idea than we're going to go into in this class, but it's basically an average of all those split half correlations that we looked at in the previous slide. So those are the different ways in which you measure reliability.